Hello, I am Mark Bird. They laughed when the humans sent a warning. They mocked it, archived it, forgot it, until the stars started disappearing. Commander Virek of the Zalthorian Empire stood before the grand observation deck, watching the void shimmer with quiet arrogance. His species had conquered 73 civilizations. Entire star clusters bent the knee to their rule. And today, they prepared to erase one more, a primitive world called Earth. Commander, a junior officer whispered, hesitation in his voice. There's a signal. Virek didn't turn. Play it. The room dimmed as a hologram flickered alive. Static. Then a human face appeared. Calm, composed, unafraid. This is Admiral Elias Ward of the United Earth Command. The man said, You have entered restricted space. Withdraw immediately. The room erupted in laughter. Humans, one officer sneered. The myth species. Yes, another added. The ones who supposedly ended wars by ending stars. Ridiculous. Virek raised a hand, silencing them. His eyes narrowed. Continue. The human didn't blink. You've mistaken silence for weakness. That's your first mistake. A pause, just long enough to feel intentional. Your second mistake will be your last. The transmission cut. Silence filled the room. Then, laughter again. Virek exhaled slowly. Send the extermination fleet. Burn their atmosphere. I want nothing left. Orders were given. Engines roared. Thousands of Zalthorian warships surged toward Earth, weapons primed. But as they crossed the outer system boundary, something strange happened. Stars flickered. One by one. Gone. Commander, the same officer whispered, fear creeping in. Our long-range sensors, they are not detecting anything beyond the asteroid belt. Virek frowned. Impossible. Then the lights dimmed. Not from power failure. From something blocking the stars. The officer's voice broke. There's something out there. Virek stepped forward, eyes widening as a void ahead moved. Zoom. He ordered. The display sharpened. And for the first time in his life, Commander Virek felt fear, because what filled the darkness was not empty space. It was a fleet, and it was still arriving. Cliffhanger. How many ships? Virek whispered. The answer came back. We stopped counting at 10,000. The silence in the command deck was suffocating. 10,000 ships. That number echoed like a death sentence. Identify them. Virek snapped. The sensor officer's hands trembled. Unknown configuration. Massive hulls, each one larger than our capital destroyers. A pause. And Commander, they're not broadcasting. No signals. No warnings. Just presence. The kind that said everything without words. Virek clenched his jaw. Battle formations. All ships. Prepare for engagement. Across the void, the Zalthorian fleet rearranged. Sleek, predatory vessels locking into formation. Energy weapons charged. Shields flared. But the human fleet didn't move. They just waited, like they had all the time in the universe. Why aren't they attacking? An officer whispered. Because they don't need to. The thought slipped into Virek's mind uninvited. Then, a single human ship moved forward. Just one, out of 10,000. Its hull glowed faintly blue, ancient symbols etched across its surface. It didn't rush. It didn't threaten. It approached, slowly, deliberately. Commander, the comms officer said, incoming transmission. Virek hesitated, then nodded. The human admiral appeared again. Same calm eyes, same steady voice. You were warned. Virek straightened. You hide behind illusions and numbers. You think this changes anything. A faint smile. No, this doesn't change anything. A pause. It ends it. The feed cut. Fire. Virek roared. The Zalthorian fleet unleashed everything. Blinding beams tore through space. Missiles screamed forward. The void lit up like a dying star. And the human ship didn't even raise its shields. The weapons hit. Explosions erupted. Silence. Smoke. Debris. Target destroyed. An officer confirmed. A wave of relief swept the room. Until, Commander. The smoke cleared. The ship was still there. Not damaged, not even scratched. The hull pulsed once. And then, every Zalthorian weapon system went offline. Simultaneously. What did they do? Virek shouted. Unknown. We've lost control of everything. The human fleet finally moved. All 10,000 ships, shifting forward in perfect synchronization. Like a single organism. Like a storm. And at the center of it, that lone ship. Watching. Waiting. Judging. Cliffhanger. Commander, the officer whispered, voice shaking. They're not here to fight. They are here to decide if we're worth sparing. Panic spread like wildfire. Emergency protocols. Virek barked. Reboot all systems. Not responding. Manual override. Blocked. Every command. Every system. Dead. The most powerful fleet in the galaxy, reduced to floating metal. Helpless. And the human fleet kept advancing. Slow. Controlled. Inevitable. Open a channel. Virek demanded. Static. Then, the human admiral appeared again. But this time, something had changed. His eyes were colder. You had your chance, he said. Virek swallowed his pride. What do you want? Silence. Then, accountability. The word hit harder than any weapon. You destroyed worlds, the admiral continued. Erased civilizations. Laugh while doing it. Virek's voice cracked. That is the way of power. The admiral tilted his head. No, it's the way of cowards. The room froze. You thought we were legends, the admiral said softly. Stories to scare children. A pause. We let you believe that. Virek's heart pounded. Why? The answer came like a hammer. To see what you'd do when you thought no one was watching. Silence. Heavy. Crushing. And now we know. The human fleet stopped. Weapons began to charge. But these weren't ordinary weapons. The energy readings. They didn't make sense. Stars nearby began to distort. Space itself bending. Commander, an officer whispered, tears in his eyes. Those weapons, they're not targeting ships. Virek felt the blood drain from his face. What are they targeting? The answer came quietly. Our star. The realization hit like a nuclear blast. They're going to erase us. Not conquer, not enslave. Erase. Wait! Virek shouted. We surrender. We! The transmission cut. The human admiral didn't even respond, because a decision had already been made. Cliffhanger. The weapons reached full charge, and the star began to collapse. Time slowed. The Zalthorian home star, trembling, light bending inward, reality breaking. Please, Virek whispered. No response. Then, something unexpected happened. The human fleet powered down. Instantly, the distortion stopped. The star stabilized. Silence. Confusion rippled through the Zalthorian fleet. What just happened? The human admiral appeared one final time. This, he said calmly, was a demonstration. Virek stayed, shaking. You could have... Yes. A pause. We could have ended you. The weight of that truth crushed the room. But we didn't. Why? Virek asked, barely breathing. The admiral stepped closer to the camera. Because power isn't about destruction. It's about restraint. Silence. You will dismantle your war fleets. You will free every world you've enslaved. And you will remember this moment. Virek nodded instantly. We will. We swear it. The admiral studied him, then nodded. Good. The fleet began to turn. 10,000 dreadnoughts, leaving as silently as they came. But before the transmission ended, the admiral said one last thing. Next time, we won't stop. The screen went dark, and for the first time in history, the Zalthorian Empire felt small, cliffhanger, and across the galaxy. Everyone else had been watching. The galaxy changed overnight. Empires fell. Chains broke. Worlds once silenced found their voices again. And at the center of it all One truth spread like wildfire. Humans were not myths. They were guardians, judges, and if necessary, executioners. Commander Virek stood alone, staring at the empty sky where the human fleet had once been. 10,000 ships. Gone. Like they were never there. But the fear remained. A young officer approached him. Commander, what do we do now? Virek didn't hesitate. We rebuild. Not as conquerors, but as something worthy of being spared. Far across the stars, Earth remained quiet. No celebrations, no broadcasts, just silence, because humanity didn't need recognition. They didn't need fear. They didn't need to prove anything. They already had. And deep in the void, a hidden fleet waited, watching, always watching, just in case. Final line. Humanity doesn't arrive to fight. It arrives when the war is already over.